Okay, hello, my name is Emily Wilson, and I am the Client Success Manager at HighRoad Solution. Today, we're going to do a dive into advertising ROI and measuring that. We have a toolkit that HighRoad created. We're going to go through, it's an Excel sheet with a few tabs. We're going to go through a few tabs and what it means to enter into them, what the instructions are, and using it and getting the most out of it. But before we dive into that tool, I wanted to jump into a little bit of a background and overview of online advertising. Also call it digital marketing, digital advertising, kind of a number of things. And it encompasses several different ways of putting your ads out there and what that means for you, what the best ones are. I kind of broke it into two sections. I call it Adwords, but it's Google's advertising. It includes search ads, display ads. Display ads are the banners that you see on your cell phone, on a desktop, on a website, all across the internet. It's an auction that happens, and whoever bids the most for that space gets it. It happens in real time. You can also do YouTube videos within Google's advertising AdWords section. There's retargeting. You can retarget someone who's been on your website, go back and find them on another website and bring them back if they've ever left a shopping cart or didn't complete a conversion on your page. And then last piece I threw in here, this is new like a year or two ago with the email advertising. A lot of associations do this. They will take a banner ad and a banner space on their email and sell that out to bring in revenue. Google does the same thing. They have space within their Gmail, banner spaces for ads, and people can spend money to bid their display advertising there. So Google is kind of a something to think about. The search text ads are a real easy way to break into doing these. Either just set up with keywords. You can also do retargeting within those. And just to kind of further illustrate, the ads are those text ads you see anytime you do a query in a Google browser, Google browser, Yahoo browser has it too. And it's the ads at the top. So for Google, the first two ads that have a little ad word next to it, notating that it's an ad, tells you that someone paid to be there. It helps with getting to the first page and showing up for your audience. It's, in my opinion, it helps with SEO a little bit. I think Google bumps you up sometimes just because you're spending money with them. So if you're organic search, it helps with that as well. So I think if you want to be organic searching, showing up first page, and you also have an ad up there, I think you have a really strong presence. It's a really good strategy to have for SEO and paid search. And so moving along into other advertising, which I'm sure a lot of associations have already played with this a little bit. There's Facebook. You can do an event on Facebook and boost that. You can do a post and boost it. So they're real easy, quick, short campaigns. You can do month-long or year-long campaigns that are evergreen, always stay up within Facebook. And then also, just to touch on each of these, they're also very granular. They have so much data, if you think about it, about each of their users. It's almost scary, but for an advertiser, it's great. You can tell if someone is going to move in the next 3 months, what kind of car they own. But for associations, maybe the more important things are what kind of profession are they in? Are they a student? What age are they? Getting those demographics and granularly targeting people based on their behaviors, what they may be doing in the next few months. It's kind of got this predictive type granular choices, at least within Facebook. I wanted to really kind of highlight LinkedIn. I think if you've been on Facebook, LinkedIn is going to be the same theory, same type of setting up. It's a little bit different. So the best part that I think for associations is it's B2B. You're going to really hit on an audience that is interested in their profession and other people and networking in that area. Maybe it's a younger audience as well. You can reach both people that are students and just somebody onto LinkedIn, and you want to get them early into the funnel within your membership marketing. And then I think the two on here that are, maybe I have them kind of not in the right order. I think LinkedIn would be the top here for associations, and then maybe Twitter and Instagram. Twitter is really great for targeting based on keywords. I remember I worked with a hospital or some kind of healthcare company, and they wanted to reach out to people and let them know that they can make appointments online. And anybody said that they were sick or cold based on that keyword in their tweet, an ad would show up and say, hey, you can make an appointment. We only have a 10-minute wait. So something that's very real time, very targeted, one-to-one type advertising you can do with social, you can do with AdWords. And then last on the list is Instagram. I think Instagram is very visual. It's a younger audience. I think associations always are always vocalizing the importance that they have on getting new members. And you get that from people coming out of school and entering into the workforce, entering into the professions. And as they enter into professions, they're joining associations to help them with networking and resources. And Instagram's kind of maybe where they're at. So I think if you really kind of organize a visual kind of campaign, you can do really well there. So I wanted to give an overview of that. And then I was going to jump into this research that HighRoad Solution joins up with Demand Metric to put these together. We have a survey out right now for 2017 to put together a research report for this year. But we have this one looking back the last 3 years, 2014 to 2016. And I just want to show this slide as kind of a pointer to kind of show that there's opportunity. So this is kind of saying, what's your effectiveness of marketing? What's your opinion of how far your marketing is taking you? And you know, based on that scale, where do you fall? And majority of associations kind of fall in this somewhat effective category. I think that leaves a huge margin for improvement with everyone wanting to be in the very effective category. That means that everything you're doing is doing really well for you and you're kind of utilizing everything that's out there. I think the jump from somewhat to very lies in digital marketing, digital advertising on either Google or social. So next, I just want to highlight within that report as well is what associations are doing, what kind of tactics are effective that they do. Of course, at the very top, I don't think it's a surprise, is email marketing. Email marketing is huge. It's not going to go away. And then below that is event marketing. These are two huge areas for touch points for your audience. Next, under there is content marketing, kind of like inbound marketing touch points, reaching out to people based on topics and blogs and that sort of thing. I think kind of further down is where my arrow is digital marketing and advertising. It's the Google search, it's Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn's a huge opportunity. I think this may be a trend. Maybe it would be interesting to see 2017 come out if it moved up or down, but I think there's an opportunity for it to move up. I think the associations that use digital advertising are in that very effective category, and that's where everyone can be. And then one more, I was just looking at what associations use for their marketing. And this is going to be kind of similar to the last slide, email marketing at the top, with digital advertising pretty far down there. And I just wanted to point out that it's right below direct mail. And if you think about it, direct mail is this kind of broad way of putting communication out there versus digital, where it can be very granular, very one-to-one and responsive. So I think there's opportunity to even just flip those, see if we can do more digital advertising and maybe do less direct mail and see what the benefits are. And so just a couple more slides to illustrate what I was talking about initially. I wanted to show a quick screenshot of what the behind the scenes look is for AdWords. This is a screen grab from a campaign we're doing for the research for 2017. We call it the State of Digital Marketing Research. And I'm just showing that it's easy. You get a grid. You can show impressions versus conversions. Right now, I'm just showing impressions over the life of this campaign. It's only going on for this month. I can dive in and look at my ads. I have text ads running for this. These are the ads at the top of the Google page when someone puts in a query. I target my keywords. A lot of times you'll kind of have another great point to make as well is I have a daily budget. So I knew my budget for the month or for this campaign in its entirety was, let's say it was $500 or let's say it was $300. That means I have a $10 a day budget for the month to run it for a whole month. So it's really fluid and flexible. It's a very small amount of investment in the beginning to test something out. If you want to it's kind of like Facebook boosting a post. If you just want to put $50 behind post, you can, and get some results from that. Same thing with AdWords. It also has some great insights that it shares with you. It prompts me to put more keywords in that are like the keywords that I have that I'm not currently showing up ads for. So it's really kind of user friendly. The interface is really nice. Here's a display ad I have for another campaign just to show that it's a typical size, 300 by 250, but you can put up to a dozen or more sizes in there for banner ads for mobile. You can make it so it only shows on mobile. I can also place these ads so that they run Monday through Friday only during business hours, or maybe if I'm East Coast and West Coast, maybe 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and then close it off on the weekends. So my budget only runs when I want it to run. I could let it run the whole time, get some information, numbers off that, and then make informed decisions on when I'm getting the most traffic, which is a great way to really optimize your spend. And then the last thing I was going to show, it's really small, but I would just point out, is that I was looking at my ads and I had 2 conversions for this campaign that had only been running a couple weeks. And then I had these web pages that I'm displaying my display ad on, and you can't see this maybe, but within here, I have Bloomberg, I have Forbes, I have maybe Time or New York Times. And then at the very bottom here, I have an arrow that points to Forbes. And then if I move over, I can see that my conversions, the 2 conversions I received from this campaign overall came from Forbes, that website. So maybe I want to target other pages like Forbes to see if I'm getting more conversions, like I can replicate that performance. So LinkedIn, I wanted to show our page, HighRoad Solution, and the ad that shows up. I was trying to refresh it so I can get the ad that we have running right now for the research survey, but I wasn't behind the scenes, so I was just looking for it. This is an idea of what it looks like within LinkedIn. Again, very granular, how you can target on there for your audience. And then lastly, I just wanted to, like I reiterate, is the targeting by demographic and how you can choose. I think that's a really appealing part versus maybe direct mail, which was above digital advertising, but you're only sending, it's like a blasted kind of outbound marketing method, where this is can be inbound, 2, very granular, is that you're targeting one-to-one, that one person or that persona of who you want to target. Let's say it's the younger generation. They're coming out of school right now and they're entering into the workforce. They're taking their certifications, or they're needing to take their certifications. And it's really important to grab them then to have them as lifelong members. And so you can start to kind of build that out and then target that person within social and search advertising. And then the daily budget, super easy to monitor. So that's what we're going to kind of segue right into our toolkit of the month. So jump out of here and pull it up. So these are really nice. I suggest to keep track of when these come out, just like you would when you join these webinars. I'm sure everyone has already downloaded it and has them up to look at. These are great I put them in a folder and just save them for tools to use. So I'll kind of go quickly through the instructions. These are nice to kind of reference when either sharing this with a colleague or someone who hasn't been on the webinar yet. But I just want to jump in really to the Calculor page. These are great. So I know I suggest going into things like AdWords or Facebook advertising and playing around with it. I think digital marketing is a little bit like making spaghetti. You want to throw the noodles at the wall and see what sticks, with little budgets in the beginning, and then slowly optimize, make informed decisions, and then get the most desired actions from your audience based on what's happening in those. But this is really nice. I know I didn't have this when I was doing this, the playing around and experimenting with platforms is a way to kind of see what the budget should be and how much you should spend, what do you get out of that. So this is kind of does that for you. So I'll start at the top, where we're going to plug these numbers in and they're going to make everything kind of give us an overview. So product price, that could be how much your research paper is that you're selling, or your ebook, or kind of a toolkit like this one, although these aren't we're advertising these, so we need to put a value behind it, but maybe it's not an actual cost. This can be kind of creative in the thinking of like, well, what's the value of this conversion or this product, whatever that means to you. So I'm going to put an easy kind of flat number in here just to see how the numbers change and watch it. Cost of goods sold. So let's say my member benefit that I sell to the actual audience of non-members, and the price of it is $500, but the cost of it I know is $100 just to put it together, the time spent putting it together, and so it's cost of goods sold. And then we have the lead conversions, 5%, usually really good. I know in Google advertising, if you're doing a display ad, if you have a conversion rate of 1%, you're doing great. If you have a text display ad of conversion of 10%, that's the threshold that's really good. And so we kind of have like an in-between here at 5%. And then kind of what's your daily budget? Well, if you have a product price of 500 and your cost of goods sold is 100, then what you're making on the top, or your revenue is looks like a really good number. So maybe your daily advertising budget is maybe $900 a month. So it's maybe $90 a day. Let's see where that leads us. I think I jump down here and kind of view kind of where you need to be, which is great, so that once your ads are running, what you're doing is you're optimizing them. So if you have an ad running for an entire month, or kind of ongoing evergreen ad, you want to jump in there every day or every other day and make sure that you're not going over budget, and make sure that your numbers are looking good. And then this would be kind of what you would use in the background to kind of tell you, well, you know what, what I've spent so far, or my total cost is this much, what I've spent so far, and then have I made the conversions to reach the profit that is estimated here. Another nice piece out of this is kind of the jumps. So a little more investment or a little more performance kind of jumps up 100%. So from 900 to 1,800 leads. I think if you want to see, well, maybe that's not enough. Maybe I need to make, that's not reaching my budget for what I have for the year. So I need to bump up my budget and see what that does. And then maybe, oh, okay, now it's reaching what the budget is for the year. And that kind of tells me that my budget needs to go up a little bit just to get a little more leads in the funnel. And then apply that. So it's going to jump over to things to kind of think about, the brainstorming, the creative process of what your product prices are, what you want your conversion to be, what constitutes a conversion. So conversions are different, right? So if your conversion is actual revenue based and there's money behind it, or e-commerce, then you can definitely, that's hard and not creative. It's just what that product price and cost is. But if the value you give sometimes to members and non-members, or part of your funnel is downloading the ebook or downloading a product that you make for your audience, it could be research, it could be anything, going back to products, it could be events and not just an actual product. And this is kind of where you kind of lay everything out, what your campaign is going to be, what's that conversion. Sometimes, downloading something is valuable to you. It costs you nothing but just to make it, but the value it shows that the person has of interest in you is worth putting money behind it. So it's important to kind of get that thinking ahead of time. So a lot of times, just that I didn't go over this, but I'll just go over really quick, is cost per click. You have cost per click, and you also have cost per impression sometimes. And that's something to think about, is that a lot of times you'll get reporting on how many impressions you received on a display ad, on a Facebook post, or that sort of thing. It's something that just tells you how many times it was potentially seen by another person. It's not necessarily the performance factor to go by. So if you were to share something with your board of directors or your leadership team, the impressions are something to highlight to show that, yes, for this campaign, we did it for 3 months. For this event, we received 3 million impressions. Well, it's a huge number and it doesn't really mean anything. It just tells you that you got it out there and you've reached an audience, which is great. What you start getting into further into actual activity and actions taken are costs per click. And if someone sees your ad, they clicked on it, and you want to go a little bit further. If that person clicked on your ad and then did something on your webpage, that will count as a conversion once you set that up. And then you can start really putting value behind your campaign. So cost per click, cost per conversion, these are all kind of terms that kind of go hand in hand with digital marketing or online marketing. And then you can create an action plan. We have pay-per-click is generally what AdWords they call PPC or pay-per-click. It's just Google search ads, what you're paying per click. The term has been around for a while, but sometimes you can pay per conversion, or you can report metrics based on paying per conversion, ROI based on that, which is what this whole toolkit's about. So that's everything in this toolkit. I think I would encourage playing around with it, with what your product prices are, what your budget is, kind of getting an idea of what it means to kind of make a budget for a campaign and then break it up by day. Maybe you want to test out putting ads on Instagram and LinkedIn and seeing what performs, how it performs better, what you're getting out of it. And then I always encourage is going the extra step and not just reporting on cost per click and not just reporting on those great impressions, but reporting on conversions and getting that ROI back on what you need. So that's everything. Again, I'm Emily Wilson, Client Success Manager at HighRoad Solution. Thanks for joining.